looks more orangish.
Well, now that Halloween is over, let's get back to reviewing normal films. You know, like a film where Will Smith plays Lucifer wearing a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt,
And
earrings,
earrings, yep.
earrings, and says, "Denied!" Oh, and Russell Crowe is friends with the devil, and Colin Farrell falls in love with someone after meeting them for only about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's love at
Um,
first sight.
and it's from the writer of Batman and Robin and Transformers 5 in his first directorial debut, and based on what I can guess about this movie, his last directorial film.
No, somebody will bet on him again.
Good point. I mean, I didn't think the guy who did Batman and Robin would be able to touch another franchise sequel, yet he did. And I was curious as to how Akiva Goldsman got Will Smith in this movie, cuz yeah, he's not the most popular person now, but back then he was a pretty prominent celebrity figure that was getting like probably 10, $20 million a movie. And it was like
A-list?
A or B plus, B plus A minus list.
Okay.
He could probably be A list, I guess.
Well, the two films that he did back to back with him. You said I, Robot
Oh
and
yeah, I looked him up and it was like, oh, he did I Akiva Goldsman wrote I Robot and I Am Legend. I'm like, oh, he called in a favor.
come on, make a fool of yourself and do this
So
movie.
so in this movie, Colin Farrell is an old guy looking at stuff in storage
He only looks like he's in his 30s.
in
He doesn't
1915
he
or
doesn't look old.
well yeah, he
He
doesn't
doesn't age.
yeah.
So how do you say an old guy? Because he's like 100 years old in
Yeah,
reality?
he's supposed to be like 100 or 110 or something. He was he was maybe just born in what was it, 1895 or 19 I think he was born in this he was born in 1895 because he was a baby, and then it flashes forward to like 1915. So I guess he's 20 even though he looks like he's probably in his 30s. I look younger than Colin Farrell in this movie, and I'm in my 30s. So he's a he's a he's a robber.
A thief.
Yeah. And he looks like Keanu Reeves from John Wick films.
And then from the Matrix.
Not quite Knock Knock. No, Matrix 4. He doesn't look like he does in the first three Matrixes. Um
Oh.
and then there's a horse with transparent wings. Hey laddie, he called him a Harris the entire movie. Or a dog. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be mildly offensive to Irish people out there.
It's your heritage. Be careful.
It was extremely tough to understand Russell Crowe in this movie, and he's with
He's
his
not
Irish
Irish.
accent.
He's not Irish.
No, but I'm saying I
I
found it
know.
tough to understand his accent. It's
We
like
put the words
we put
on.
subtitles on.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like hello, I'm the Leon like you see in a ball of festival with the Bugs Bunny. What? Um,
Didn't he want to eat an owl or something?
that was, I guess, a test. So he then like his skin kind of like ripped a little bit, and then light was reflecting off of it or coming out of
He
it
had like scars on his face.
as he like kind of
Bashed him.
bashed the guy and then used the blood and was like, "Hey, we need to find the red-haired girl." So either Akiva Goldsman is a fan of Charlie Brown or the writer of the book is. Meanwhile, this girl is has a fast heartbeat, and as a result, she's always warm, so she has to sleep in
In the open sky in a tent.
a tent
Roof.
on the roof. Um and her dad says you can't dance because then you'll die. And Colin Farrell is robbing her, and
He wants to rob her, but then he hears her playing Brahms or whatever.
he's like, oh my god, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I love the love, and the love is loving, and I love the love that is love you. Love, 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 love.
Not all at once, but you know.
And it's like, oh sure, but 50 Shades of Grey has a convoluted setup for a romance. 50 Shades ain't so bad now, is it? At least I could follow 50 Shades. This is more like The Snowman.
I did not find it that hard to follow.
Especially how it kept going, how it
Right,
kept
it would
going
go
into
back and
other
forth.
characters
Yeah,
and stuff, yeah.
it'd go back in different years.
Now, if we didn't see the midnight screenings, would you be able to follow it still?
I think so.
Okay.
I didn't find it all that disgusting.
I didn't say it was disgusting. I said
Russell
confusing.
Russell Crowe, yeah, they should have got somebody else for that role.
You were
I
thinking
don't-
Kevin Spacey.
I don't think he gave it justice. He was too over the top.
He was too after the Lucky Charms.
Whatever.
People, comment below if my accent is terrible or horrible, please. And she takes it extremely nice that Colin Farrell was about to rob her father. Like, oh, okay.
Well,
You
it's
know-
my father's stuff, not mine.
You know,
She was gonna die anyway.
I'm a virgin. I've never been in love. I've never kissed. What? So then she dies in a way we're not going to talk about, but
Why?
oh, do you want to talk about how
No,
she
they
gets
went,
how
they
she
went
dies?
dancing.
They go dancing. She gets drugged.
Yep.
They do the Humpty dance.
No, she wants to make love with him.
Yeah,
You could say it nicer than that.
I tried to be a little more vague. Euphemistically.
So the
What
bed.
hey, I could have said this.
Were you going to talk about the princess bed or no?
Oh, yeah, there's the
Willa.
younger sister who's like, looks
Willa.
like at least 10 years younger. Maybe she was
Yeah.
adopted. Who knows? I don't know.
No, back then you didn't always have children close in age.
I thought you did. Okay, whatever. So it's kind of like Sleeping Beauty, and we both said that. And then,
Willa was the younger sister.
and it was about to imply that Willow wanted Colin
Willa.
Farrell to kiss him? Or kiss her?
To kiss the sister to keep her alive.
No, that... She was like about to tell the story, and then she said, okay, now pick me up and take me to bed. Okay? So, then it's her, then it's her burial. Oh, by the way, this girl, she narrates the movie, even though this movie didn't learn from Halloween 6, and the girl narrates before we're introduced to her as a character. Before we see her. We just hear this voice. Kind of like Bran did. Am I wrong?
Don't talk about that movie.
Stop. Anyway. So, oh yeah, the horse appears several times. There's
The horse always saves them.
yeah, yeah. Then they're on some battle on a bridge. Colin Farrell says, "Horse, go away, okay?
Fly, fly, save yourself, fly.
Fly, butterfly, fly." 10 points to Gryffindor. Fly, you fool. So, then he falls into the water, and like 100 years later, because it was in 1915, now it's in 2015. Now it says present day, so it might be 2014, might be 2015. Maybe it was scheduled to be released in 2014, and then the studio looked at it and was like, no, we're releasing this in January. So our kids can eat that month. Um, so Colin Farrell comes out of the water, has no memory really of anything. So it's implied he might be homeless, but he's living in a house. So it seems all he does is draw the red-haired girl. Um,
With the moon.
yeah, like about to hold the moon, or touch it. Sitting in a closet and walking in what looks, I'm gonna guess Central Park, because this was called New York's A Winter Tale, I think.
Oh, was
Or a
it?
New York's Winter Tale.
It was?
Yeah, so it wouldn't get confused with Shakespeare.
Oh.
I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was called New
Interesting.
York's Winter Tale in Europe, I believe.
Okay.
Um, so Akiva Goldsman calls in someone else, Jennifer Connelly, who looks pretty cute. She kind of looks a little bit like Courtney Cox. Okay.
Maybe, but nah. A little bit different.
Um,
So she's the mother of this girl.
she's the mother, yeah, which would lead, and so Colin Farrell has no idea his identity. So because uh because Jennifer Connelly is a works at this library, I
Works
guess
for a magazine.
she's kind of like top security, I guess.
No, she does the food column.
Yeah, for a magazine. I'm not sure what that has to do with a library, but sure.
Because
Um,
journalists are able to use the film archives.
I need to look at World War II film reels so that way I can understand how to make banana bread.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm getting sleepy.
Oh, I'm sorry, not film reels, news reels I meant. Or serials or whatever. So she finds out that she finds out about this woman, about the red-haired girl. God, I can't remember her name. The little redhead girl, Charlie Brown's girl. Francesca Capaldi, I think that's what her name is. Um, that's who voiced her in the Peanuts movie. I hope I'm saying her name right. Um, so then, uh, Jennifer Connelly finds out that Colin Farrell is like over 100 years old and hasn't aged or gotten a haircut. I guess his hair just stop. I guess his hair just stays at one point. I guess, even though he shaves, I think. Um. Then somehow Russell Crowe finds out, and
That he's still alive.
didn't he lose a leg or something? Wasn't
Who?
Russell Crowe? Didn't he have a peg leg?
No.
Okay. Uh. So then, you know what? We're gonna go full spoilers because
Finally, get to it. So
honestly,
then
we
he goes to see Lucifer, and
again,
he wants to be made human so he can fight
Colin Farrell.
to death. And
Um.
then Lucifer is like, "Do you understand? If you lose,
You will die.
You will die.
Denied!
Okay, you don't need to do it so loud. You already did it once.
I need to show you it. There's a clip. There's a scene in After Earth where Will Smith says "denied," and it was the year before this movie.
Okay.
So when they said like Will Smith needs to stop saying "denied" in films, that's why.
Okay.
So he and Colin Farrell have this battle. The horse turns them into ice/snowmen and drowns them in, and they drown
How
in.
do they turn into ice/snowmen?
Well, at the end, Russell Crowe got frozen, or it looked
Because
like
he
he was
died.
covered in ice.
Because he died.
Or no, it looked like he was covered in snow.
Yeah, he turned to ice. He killed him.
Akiva Goldsman, you need to stop writing movies about characters that are cool, that freeze.
So then they had to take the girl inside.
Please, I want to do the pun. What give the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Ah, ice to see you. I'm the ultimate cool.
Okay.
He wrote those lines.
Okay.
So then it's revealed that Colin Farrell. Oh, by the way, he's kind of an angel, I guess.
Yep. He gets to save one person.
Which makes you wonder why he didn't try to say why he didn't.
He did try to save.
Yeah, but it didn't work.
But that wasn't the right redhead.
So then he puts this other redhead who is dying of cancer, I think.
Yes.
Onto that same like Sleeping Beauty bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, don't tell me you're going to try to bring her back with a passionate kiss. I'm like, please don't, movie.
He kissed the little girl on her forehead.
Yeah.
And then
she comes back to life.
She didn't come back to life yet. He started crying next to her cheek, and tears fell on her. And then she came back to life and said, "Mom, Mama, why is everyone crying?
Did I pass out again?" And then the horse flies them into space and they become stars.
Yep, right next to his one love. And Willa watched the star go up in the sky.
Okay, what movie makes less sense? Because I just want to hear your thoughts. This or Fart the movie?
Oh God, this.
This makes less sense?
More sense. Fart the movie is just unbelievably yuck.
Okay, what was better between Will Smith movies that we saw this year? This or Wild Wild West?
Wild Wild West.
I agree. That was shorter and funnier, and you got to see Salma Hayek, and I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
I would if you want to see it, I would suggest renting it on Blu-ray. That way you can see the extended and deleted scenes. Okay. You know, one of these days, I'd like you to read this book so you can explain it to me.
Why can't you read it and you explain it to me?
Because I don't like to read. You like to read more than I do. Reading isn't fun to me.
Okay.
Unless it's a book by Andrew Hyde, in which case then I'll read it a lot. Then I'll read it very closely.
Okay. I'm still not gonna read it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, come on.
One more thing.
Wrap up.
What made more sense, this or the Snowman? With Harry Holt.
This was better
and Val
than
Kilmer.
This was better than the Snowman.
Because it seemed like it had a beginning, middle, and end, and not just random scenes.
It touched me. Okay?
Do you want this on Blu-ray?
No. I'm just like, if you'd like to rent it, rent it. If you don't. I just think Will Smith was not that great in it. And
Russell Crowe
was not great in it.
Colin Farrell wasn't bad.
No, he wasn't bad.
Join us next time. Well, I've given you my thoughts. Are you done?
Yeah.
Join us next time when Kay picks out another movie.